where we can celebrate the 10th anniversary of GSW Międzychód event MMA here in Wielkopolski. And with me we have the special guest, very immediate guest, Norman Parke. Norman, tell us, how did it happen that you're here? Because I heard it was really immediate thing.
Yeah, I was back home last night and I got a call from Pavel, MMA cartel manager.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm co-promoting a show with a friend, would you like to come? Because Roberto Soldates couldn't make it because his girl is pregnant and she's ready to have the baby. And I says, no problem, book me flight and I'll come. But I was due to come on Wednesday to see GSW to talk about contract, and so just come a little bit earlier and watch the fight, so it's all good.
Great. Besides GSW, this is one of the really little amount of Polish events that you have the opportunity to be a part of. So tell me, what's your impression so far? I know it's the very beginning of the event, but what's your impression whatsoever? Because it's a really local event, it's in the village, so what can you tell for now?
Yeah, for a small village, I think it's a lot of people, maybe like 1,800 people, I would say, maybe 2,000 people. So yeah, for a little small village, it's good, good turnout, and they got mixture of different, different fights. They got amateur fights, they got kickboxing fights, grappling fights, MMA fights, so little bit of everything. So I know it's only into maybe the 4th or 5th fight, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the card.
Right. So I know that it's only short-term trip, but you are also into being in Poland for a little while more. So when do you, are you planning to go to Poland as for your training camp for a little longer? For example, to prepare for your previous fight or something. So what are your plans about staying here in our country? Because we can say that your career actually relies on Polish MMA market now.
Yeah, the Polish market's my market now for sure, 100%. And but I just come here just to do the business, to talk with the GSW, to see what the plans are for the future, because I don't think I'm going to fight in December. I wanted to fight in December, but I don't think it's going to happen. So maybe, I know January is, they do nothing January, just rest January, no work. Maybe on February, maybe they do show February or early March. So I would like them to come to my home country, Belfast. I would really like that. I know Martin talked about a little bit later, but it's going to be a long time for me to fight. If it's April, that's going to be September, October, that's going to be like 6 or 7 months since my last fight.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what's going to happen, but for future I come to train in the Ankos again. Yeah. Maybe 6 weeks or 5-6 weeks, but prepare, train back home longer, and then finish off in Ankos. Because if I fight in Poland, I'll stay there, but if I fight back home, I'll come home 2 weeks before. And like I did for the Marcin fight, for the title fight, and yeah, that's it. So it's just kind of play it by ear and just enjoy it. I'm having a little bit alcohol, little bit cycling, and that's it. Just have fun. So I stay here tonight, and then tomorrow I go back to Poznan. You know, so.
I'm really glad that you have at least something to drink, because usually you eat something during our interviews. We had banana and we had apple, so now you had at least something to drink. So tell me now, because we had the opportunity to read your pretty sad tweet about your past, where you went through very serious and sad time in your life after being released from UFC. Why do you wrote this tweet in that time? What happened? What pushed you to do so?
I think this talks for a different time, in a different place, because now is not really a good time to talk about that. I think if we sit down somewhere else where it's quieter, we can talk a little bit more, but just after some other things, I don't think it's good to talk about it now, so maybe like a few months time we'll try this, but right now I'm not ready to talk about that. But I'll let you know, there's too much to talk about. I'd be here the rest of the fights if we talk about this, so we'll leave that for some other time, and I tell you everything. You'll know everything from my mouth, then you know what's up.
Of course, I'll cut you 100%. So tell me, if you will not probably fight not in Zagreb and not in Gliwice, tell me, are you at least invited to some events, or are you willing to go there to be just, you know, a fan, a viewer?
Yeah, maybe I come to watch the Scott Askham fight against Mamad Khalidov, so that's the fight I'm really looking forward to. I was the one I wanted to get on that show, but I'm going to come and watch it either way, maybe just for the weekend and fly back the next day, just in, watch the fight, come back home next day, not stay too long, and then spend Christmas with my son, you know, and that's it. Then after Christmas, then focus on my first fight to defend the title. But I know Boris is fighting soon. Boris is fighting against it's crazy. Yeah, this guy is talked about me before. You know, so maybe if this guy beat Boris, maybe, you know, we fight, or maybe if there's maybe the Marian Shukovsky who's there. But because he pulled out from injury last fight, and then he come on social media straight after the fight and say, hey, we should fight, you know, given orders, like, you know, but you pulled out from fight, you know, maybe you fight another fight first, because I have 7 fights in KSW, 6 fights. He have 1 loss and 2 wins in a row. But I know the division's not really deep, so he would be next person in line. But say he jumped out in my fight, he shouldn't come in and say, hey, let's fight, we should fight. You should just keep quiet and maybe fight someone in December, and then maybe you fight for title after. Okay. You know, show a little bit of respect after the fight. But I don't know what happened to his knee. I know he hurt his knee or something like this, but I never seen nothing. So marching, the zombie turned up to fight, and for me it was a good experience to fight the 5 rounds. I know I go to the decision all the time, but it was good for me to experience the 5 rounds and make the weight for first time in 2.5 years, the first time I make lightweight. And I think maybe next time I not go underweight so much, because after the weigh-in I cramp up a lot, you know, and very hard to rehydrate for a little bit. But in the fight I was fine, but maybe not cut away under. I did this just to show KSW, hey, I can make the weight no problem. But next time I'll not go too much, because I take everything out of my body, and I tried to rehydrate, we were sitting, and my foot just turned the other way with cramp. I'm like, what the fuck? Like a exorcist. And it take long time for me to get IV, so...
But will you collaborate with Mauric as well, still?
Yeah, of course, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I liked working with him. He got, that's his profession, you know, it's his line of work, so 100% I'll work with him in the future, no doubt about it.
Okay, so Norman, thank you so much for the talk. We don't want to, you know, make the event be without us. But if you just give me the short pick about the main card in Zagreb and Gliwice. So Erkojon versus Pudzianowski, and in Gliwice we have who? We have Mamet versus Askham Scott.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I thought it was for a title fight, but I heard that Khalidov wants to fight just 3 5-minute rounds. Yeah. You know, so it's just non-title fight. You know? Yeah?
Yeah, I know that.
True?
Yeah, it's a catch weight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, I never knew catch weight, but I knew it was non-title fight, and...
like 85 kilos, if I'm sure.
Yeah. So that make me think, like, Mamad don't like to fight the 5 rounds, but lately, just... Mamad's still a beast, you know? He's still a beast, 100%. Like, he was #1 in Europe for a long time, you know? Outside of UFC, if people want to say this, but I think Scott is on a good run. Scott Askham's on a very good run at the minute, and he's had a lot of finishes since he's left the UFC, and plus he's younger too, you know, he's like 30 years old, so I think it favours Scott Askham, but I like both guys, but I have to go for Scott Askham because he's UK, you know, but I'm going to be down the middle and go for Scott Askham, but I love Mamad Khalidov too. You know, I like to watch his fights, all previous KSW fights, and he's superstar here. And the fight in Zagreb with Erkojon and Mariusz Pudzianowski, I think Erkojon's going to knock him out. I think Erkojon will knock him out. And I like Pudzianowski, but just the way I see Erkojon fights his fights, he's explosive, he's young. Pudzianowski is very, very strong, and a big, strong guy, lots of experience. But I think that I think it favours Erko Yun just with being younger, youthful, and he's just like, because he's only had a few fights, like maybe 3 or 4 fights. When I had 3 or 4 fights, you go for the kill more, you know. So I think he can catch him and knock him out. I think he can, yeah.
Alright.
So I'll pick Erko Yun. Don't mean to offend all the Polish people, but I just think Erko Yun will win because he's younger and he's on a good knockout streak and he's powerful too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Norman. Fair enough, and let's don't miss the event.